Good morning, it's Wednesday. I'm having a little technical difficulty trying to get my screen in there where I don't look like I'm looking off like, looking at one eye going, hey, looking over there. So, and then I got that thing behind me there and I didn't want to be too much more. There you go. I guess I'm just going to have to hold it. There we go. There we go. The club is alive and well here at Bodies by Tasso Company in Daytona Beach. But it's not as easy to go out and do one live out on the floor. And I told you yesterday, remember yesterday we talked about the spiritual part of our lives, because that's the main thing I wanted to focus on. Today I want to talk about mindset. My hands are really getting in there today. I want to talk about mindset. And I think our mindset is so very important to us from the standpoint of it attaches to the spiritual side in a very close mannerism. And that is this, is that before God can listen to your prayers, they have to resonate with you. They have to have power and purpose and meaningfulness to you. And if you don't do that, if you just do mindless prayer, then why would God be interested? So same kind of thing from the standpoint of our mental capacity and our mental mindset that's so important to us. How can you expect to have a purposefulness, that's a good word, purposefulness in life if you have not crafted your mindset? Okay? Because when you do your mindset, when you create that future memory, which has a lot to do with your mindset, when you do that, you have to go at it boldly. You have to go at it and work to bring your emotion and bring, because this purposefulness, I didn't drink, I promise, of mindset is important to how you approach each day. It's strongly connected with your spiritual connection because the two are going to work together. Remember, these triangles of getting you to be the best you can be that we have in the 6-point triangle and our synergy triangle and that kind of thing, these are all interrelated and they're all work with one another in a synergistic relationship. Okay? The one we didn't talk too much about in my sessions were the brain, the immune system, the gut, which I think Dr. Blylice and Phil and Dr. Kristen talked a lot about because of the biohacking and because of the burst training. I think it has a role in that. So again, if you don't believe in your prayer spiritually, how do you expect God to believe it? If you don't believe in this vision that you created, because when you go boldly after your vision, it makes you feel alive. It makes you be able to have the persistence to go through every day. It holds your attention because you have a vested interest in it. You have something you want to get accomplished. And it gets you engrossed with all your other emotions. Joy to pain, love to hate, something that's not strong is only temporarily exhilarating, right? I use that word exhilarating today because really your vision for yourself, mentally, your mindset should be something that exhilarates you. I mean, if you go to a movie, you see a movie that you can see how the power of your mind, because how many people have gone home after seeing a scary movie, and when they go home and after seeing that, they have maybe a nightmare because it exhilarates you. It holds you because it was so impactful and it was so deep from the standpoint of what it did. So our body's a wonderful machine. We talked about that yesterday, that we have these tools, we have this machine that is our spiritual side of us. Now, the body is a mental. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the physical part of the body, which deals with an awful lot of why people came into this program. And you see the completeness and the interaction of what we have done in this 55-day program. Mindset and that. Now, here's why they begin to tie together, so you understand this as you go forward, the importance of every component. Don't just say, well, I'm only going to do the exercise part, I'm only going to do the eating part, I'm only going to do the journaling part. What we want to understand is how they're connected. And that's why I've taken the 3 sections of what we call the magic triangle, the mindset, the spirit, and the body, the cellular health, the cellular integrity, the cellular intercommunication, and the cellular intelligence. And I've sort of broken them out into 3 separate things, but yet they all come back and are interconnected. So when we look at this, there's 2 exercises. The mind is like another muscle. It has to be worked. You have to constantly be putting new information into the mind. This is the purpose of reading, listening. You know, I go back to Charlie Tremendous Jones, and I think I've shared the story twice or three times in my session. Went to a seminar by Charlie Tremendous Jones, and he always opened the statements with, "You are going to be the person you are today is not the person you will be 5 years from now because of the books you read, the tapes you listen to, and the people you hang around with." Okay? Well, we constantly have to put this information into our minds, into our mindset, so we can constantly uphold, strengthen, and drive our mindset to be that bold vision. This is why Phil has talked about, listen, we're going to see pain to joy when you do your creative tension chart. That circle of discontent, that should be your pain. That should be what you want to get away with or get away from. And then your future memory, that is your joy. What's going to bring you that joy in life? So back to Charlie Tremendous Jones, you know, we're this machine, and what you think about is what you become. So we must put good information into our brains. Back to Zig Ziglar, trash in, trash out. Good stuff in, good stuff out. So now, 2 exercises, 2 things to look for. Number 1, continually read, listen, and pick good things that help to bring you up and enhance you. When I get ready to do my journal at night, I sit and I work from the standpoint, I'm usually reading 2 or 3 books at a time. I'm usually reading a spiritual book, I'm reading a technical book, and then I'll read something just in business or fun. The one weakness I have, I'm not much of a fiction reading person. I think the last full fiction novel I read was maybe Red Raptor or Godfather. That's how long it's been. Because everything has always been about pushing the education of what I do. I believe as a good trainer, we need to have great people skills, we need to have sales skills, we need to have technical skills. We need to have that empathy for when we design. We have to have the technical ability to be able to rehab someone when they have an injury in that. So the first thing is the reading, the things you put in your mind. The second thing is quiet time. This is the importance of what Heather and Ariel brought, that meditation, that quiet time. When you get away, you don't read, you put everything else away, you turn the TV off, and you write in your journal. That's how the meditation can start. It can be times when you're doing your prayers or your meditation, but again, if we aren't earnest in how we do them, if we aren't connected to that, because there's an end result. When we begin to do that gratitude journal at nights, when we do that gratitude, that's why I said I am grateful for the lunch I had today with my three team members. 2 of them had birthdays. 1 had a birthday at the beginning of the month we didn't get to celebrate. So I took them to lunch. We had a great conversation. I was so grateful for that because I could see the future of my club. I could see the future of my business. I could see the track of developing these people. What it did is it stimulated my PFC. Okay? The EEM wants you to remain the same. It wants to do the same things over and over again. If I'd have done that, I would have never picked up the phone 7 or 8 years ago or 9 years ago and called Phil Kaplan and said, "Hey, Phil, I hear what you're saying and I'm interested in it." It's not what I do, but what it has done is add to what I do. It's helped me create a bigger vision of what I want to be and want to do with my business. It gives me another component of my business. That growth comes from those times I sat in my journal and I wrote in my journal the things that I wanted to see occur, and I was colorful about them. I was what the outcome would be. But remember this, when you put that grateful, I'm grateful for this because it shows. I'm grateful that I did my exercise routine for the 55th straight day today. And I'm grateful because I know that that is making me stronger and better. And now my life is going to get better. Well, that's a dopamine response. That is going to cause your body to begin to uplift you and drive that habit and drive that neurotransmission, that neuroplasticity to create those new pathways for a better, healthier, best you, a best you. And again, I start thinking of this thing going with my eyes off to the side, looking over here. So listen, I hope you guys have a great day. It's going to be a wacky, wild Wednesday where the businesses are starting to get going up. Be in your meditation, be prayerful for our country, that we go back to the message I had on Sunday, that we are one and we are unified, and it's unity for us, and that we put out there love, we put out there peace. We all can have different opinions, but we don't have to be angry at each other for differing opinions. We have to understand that everybody comes from a different perspective, and that they have a care and a love for everybody who's around them at the most essential part. And I think probably the timing of this coronavirus and being away from our fellow man has helped us to understand how much we miss them. So I'm going to go back to an exercise I talked about a long time ago, and Holden, I think, did it as well, and that's reach out to somebody today that you haven't talked to. I had a wonderful text come to me the other night from a guy who said, hey, haven't been a very good friend, haven't reached out to you in a while, you've always been there for me, I wanted to reach out and make sure you were okay. And it was great, and I called him up, and we had a great conversation. So call someone that makes you happy. Like Holden said, call someone you haven't talked to in 3 years. Call someone that you miss seeing. And remember, three takeaways today. Read, listen, and watch the things that make you better and help you to embolden your vision of your future and your future memories. Number 2 is meditate, journal, spend the quiet time to do the thought process. And number 3, reach out and make that connection. Tell someone you love them today, because you know what? That's the important aspect. That everybody needs to be significant. Everybody needs to be loved and know that they're special in somebody's life. So all of you in the 55-day program are special to me. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great Wednesday. God bless.